What's up, everyone? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Reoz, bringing you guys this 11-game slate here on PrizePicks. So it's a nice Friday, 11-game slate. Like I said, Friday's always an awesome day for the NBA. Usually we got a ton of games here, like always. And then this past week has been weird. We had 2 games on Tuesday, 3 games on Thursday. So I think ever since MLK Day, we're going to follow this trend where we're going from like 10 games to 3 and then to 15, then to 2 again. So, like, we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll get it fixed kind of up until the All-Star break. Then we'll start just getting consistent, like 6 to 7, 8 game slates. But for now, I don't mind it. I think this is awesome. I think we got a lot of nice lines here today. We're back on Price Picks per usual. So tonight we're going to be doing the NFL video and the MMA video. So you know that we cover NFL usually every Sunday, but now that we're in the playoffs, we got Saturday games, Sunday games. So we're going to continue to do that. UFC, we've only covered one time so far on this channel, but we're going to try to make that a staple in the channel. You guys seem to like that, the people who are into UFC, so thank you guys who tuned into that. We went live for the first time yesterday. We had quite a bit of viewers who jumped in there, asked some questions, so thank you, appreciate that. That was definitely an awesome experience to do that. And like I said, we're back on Prize Picks. If you've never played Prize Picks before, look in the top corner over there. Mahomes, half a passing yard he's got to get this weekend for you to cash out. And we got Riaz's dogs
These
chirping
dogs
in.
barking like crazy.
They're getting hyped up over the Mahomes promo. So, like I said, Prize Picks, very simple way to play. You take over unders on player props. So think about it. Mahomes would be your lock this weekend. He needs to throw for a passing yard. You can pair him up with someone in the NBA. You can mix and match sports. They do esports. Like I said, they do MMA. It's crazy, college sports. So it's a very fun way to play. It's a nice change of pace from, your DraftKings, your FanDuel, stuff like that. So, yeah, we're going to get this rolling. And by the way, at the bottom of the screen, promo code UPSTATE. You can sign up using promo code UPSTATE. And that'll give you a 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $100. So we offer some premium content over on Patreon as well. Riaz, why don't you tell them about that?
Yeah, we've been red hot on the Patreon a couple days where we're just kind of breaking even. But other than that, we had a night where we went nine one and one, which was pretty insane. And we're just gonna keep bringing a bunch of write ups, a bunch of hit rate articles, and just giving you guys winners over there. So I highly recommend checking it out, especially with these huge slates on NBA and even with the playoffs. And we're gonna be bringing you bets for UFC. So just a lot of stuff going on over on the Patreon. You can find it at patreon.com/upstate.
Yeah, like Riaz says, pretty much just kind of breaking even last night. It was a tough night. Like I said, I advised everyone over there to play light. It was just the way things went, but that's all right. Big game. Big slate. Tonight. So ready to get after this one. So in the points category, the Lakers are playing early, which is different to see. They're playing the Magic. This is actually a lot closer of a spread than I thought it would be. 5 point spread here. In this game, we saw Mo Bamba have a really nice game against Philadelphia last time out. Wendell Carter Jr. is probable to come back, so that's some pretty good news here. Anyone in this game, Riaz, catch your eye?
Yeah, always LeBron at 28 and a half. You could never really go wrong with him, especially with Russell just playing not even 30 minutes at this point, getting benched. If Russell's going to play his 30, 35 minutes, 15 and a half looks like a really good number for him, considering even though he hasn't been playing very well, he's just fallen short a couple times. He got 19 against Denver. Utah, he's fallen half a point shy. And then against the Pacers, when he got benched, 14 there. So, you're kind of getting a discount considering he hasn't played the minutes. But if this is a game where he starts playing very well, 15 and a half definitely looks viable here.
I know there's like a lot of jokes about Westbrook. Like I get it. And the type of player he's been so far this season. 6 points against Memphis. It's definitely tough to see, but I think Riaz is right. He should get more minutes, realistically, in this game against Orlando, because I think the matchup's a lot better. And if he starts off playing well, then he should continue to get more runs. So we'll see. But Mo Bamba too, I think looks decent against this squad. 11.5 with that big game last time out. We'll monitor. If Carter Jr. officially comes back. I know he's probable right now to return. I'm assuming he's going to play. I don't think it takes away too much from Bamba, but it's a tough place to go. I'll look to rebounds for Bamba. And then let's talk about Embiid. Just because over the past month of January. Just been smashing. 50 bomb against Orlando this last time. Yeah, going against the Clippers when the same night Jokic had like a 50 bomb against the Clippers too, then an overtime game. So I think he looks really good. Zubac is just giving up a ton of points, even though Zubac had a career high the other night. I think Embiid looks really good tonight at 29.5.
Yeah, he had 50 in 27 minutes, which is just absolutely insane. And then to go down even further, I mean, great game here. The Bulls against Milwaukee. I mean, still no ball. He's going to be out 5 to 7 weeks, having surgery. No Zach Levine. I mean, uh, definitely a game where DeMar DeRozan can go out and just really have himself a game. 30 against Cleveland was really nice to see. He's just been falling a couple points shy from this line, but in this big matchup with Giannis, Middleton, even Bobby Portis playing very well, this is definitely a game I can see him go out there and have 30 points. I mean, 25 and a half does seem high, but just in this matchup, it seems like a game where he has to go out there and kind of get 30 to compete against this Milwaukee Bucks team.
Yeah, no, I like this game a lot. Milwaukee's been involved in a lot of good games lately. I mean, Memphis, Atlanta, Toronto, Warriors, Charlotte. I mean, they just had a nice stretch of just like competitive games. So, really do like this game for the Bulls side of things. I mean, the Milwaukee guys look great. You know, if you've been on the Patreon, you know how I've been loving Chris Middleton. Love him here again tonight. Been absolutely amazing in these games that have been very competitive. Can find his shot in a lot of different ways. So Middleton again to me at 20.5 doesn't even get the boost up. He's just pretty much been at 20.5 for a while. I would definitely get on this early if you want to, because I could see this going to 21.5.
Without a doubt. And then uh, we can jump to this Spurs Brooklyn game. Still no Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving has looked phenomenal playing on these road games. Two straight have hit almost 30-point games. I don't know if I'm really looking at Curry here or Kyrie here tonight, but definitely a guy I've been on as of late, and that's Jaka Portal at 11 and a half. I was on him against OKC. He went out there and had 13. I mean, just playing very well basketball. I mean, he's very involved in this offense and definitely taking a team that kind of struggles down low with Claxton and LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, two good players, just not that great defensively. So no problem going right back to him. I mean, 4 out of the last 5 not scoring against Cleveland. So really, other than that, I mean, the line just hasn't moved up. It's still sitting at a great line for me.
Yeah, he says he's been on Podol as of late, but we know he's been on Podol all season. That's his guy there. So yeah, I think Podol does look good for sure. Right under him, Sadiq Bey. He's at 14.5. Big game against the Kings last time out there. Sorry, I was drawing a blank. But yeah, I think what's important about that, he's been in some trade talk. We saw like the reported trade over to Philadelphia. So I mean, they could be letting him hypothetically just put up a lot of shots. We can play that narrative, I guess, but Utah is never easy to go out there and score points against. So I just wanted to mention that, especially because coming off that big game. But as we scroll down, they don't have like the 10 o'clock games out yet. But either way, down here at the bottom between Denver and Memphis, really good game. I'm pretty excited to actually watch this game. Aaron Gordon catches my 13.5. In this past 5 games, two 30-point games, the 28 game with like the game winner against the Clippers, which was always nice to see. So he's coming into this game, I think, with a little extra confidence here. I think he can have a really good night.
Yeah, with Aaron Gordon, it's like he's either going to score 5 points or he's going to score 25, 30 points. And this is definitely a game against Memphis. Both teams play very well defensively, but we know there's a bunch of scorers, so this could be an underrated, really high scoring game. And the way Aaron Gordon's been playing, there's no reason not to go to him, especially at 13 and a half.
Yeah, I agree too. And yeah, I think that'll wrap things up for points here. Over in rebounds, I think a couple people look really good. It's I was on LaMelo, but his line kind of went up. He had that great game against Boston, so that was always nice to see. John Collins, he's been playing really well, but I think Clint Capella is going to be back tonight. Right now, he was in shoot-arounds. He looks like he's looking pretty good. Haven't gotten confirmed news that he's in yet, so be wary of Collins. But who here do you think you're going to lock in, Reoz?
Yeah, I always seem to gravitate towards Robert Williams when he's sitting at 8.5. Just a really great matchup here against Portland. We've seen him hit 4 out of the last 5, especially big rebounding games against Philly and Chicago with two really great centers. So uh, no difference here tonight against Nurkic. So no problem going back to him at 8.5, and it kind of seems like a good little discount from it being at 9.5.
Yeah, I think Robert Williams looks pretty good. Missed last game. I'm really not sure why he was listed out of last game, but he did miss that game. But the matchup against Portland does look amazing. And Jaylen Brown's another guy I see a lot of people want to go to, especially in the Discord that we have. Yeah, I think Jaylen Brown does look pretty good tonight, but the matchup right here, with Robert Williams being back in the lineup, um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to get to him. Usually he's at like 4.5, 5, which looks a lot better than 5.5. So wouldn't go under here, but probably be a fade for me today.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a tough line for him. And someone we really haven't talked about, Steven Adams. He's been playing pretty good minutes as of late. It's kind of shown, definitely in the rebounding side of the ball, that he needs to be out there, especially against a great talent like Jokic. So no problem with his 8.5. We've seen monster games with 14 against Detroit. He got 10 and 11 against two really good teams in Milwaukee and Chicago. So just playing another really good team with another um, elite center, he definitely needs to be out there and really contending for these boards.
Yeah, I think Adams looks good. Obviously, he gets like limited run in a lot of these games. Like he doesn't go out there and play massive minutes, but in his minutes that he does get, he has a lot of really good production. So really like Adams there in that spot, like what you said about him. Over in the assist category, you know, early on in the season, like Cole Anthony, was my guy. He missed some time. He's back now. I think he's starting to, get back to form here. I like his assists here tonight. 8 against Philadelphia, 6 against Portland. We saw the big one against Washington with 9. Obviously a down game against Dallas, but hey, he can't go out there and hit this line every night. But I love the matchup against the Lakers. They're like 23rd in point guard defense. Definitely not a great defense overall, but in terms of guarding the point guards and allowing assists, they're like bottom 20 in the league. So I think Cole Anthony looks really good tonight at 5.5 assists.
Yeah, love Cole Anthony tonight. They moved up Rozier, which is really tough to see. He was sitting right around 3.5 for so many games now. I can't really see myself taking Rozier, even though it's still only at 4.5. And we saw the monster games: 10 against Boston, 7 against the Knicks. I mean, he definitely has the ability to go out there and rack up that many assists. But when it's at 3.5, it just feels a lot more comfortable. But Giannis here. Definitely a great game for him. We've seen 4 out of the last 5. His line's sitting at 5.5. Really great line for me. With Drew Holiday still not being out there, I have no problem relying on Giannis to really get the ball moving here in this game. This is going to be a tough game. The Bulls are very, very good this year. I don't think a lot of people kind of expected that, being top 3 in the Eastern Conference. So this is a really marquee matchup here that Giannis has to go out and really show out.
Yeah, no, I like Holiday is in the lineup this game, but I do like Giannis assists still. He was up there like 6.5, like before, but with Holiday being back, especially last game, he didn't really get that much run. So regardless, I mean, Holiday only played 22 minutes, so I think Giannis still looks really good here tonight at 5.5 for sure. I mean, the way Middleton's been balling and the way these other snipers can shoot, like DiVincenzo, Connaughton, Allen, I think a lot of opportunities for Giannis to rack up assists here tonight. Bradley Beal kind of fell off the assist wagon. He had the really big game against Brooklyn and then Orlando, but not a guy I want to be looking to tonight for assists. I think he's going to be looking to score the ball a little bit more. And I think that's it for me in assists. Like Jokic obviously can go out there and give you a triple double. Podol has like one of the highest hit rates on the season for this assist line. I mean, he's at 2.5. Usually a guy that just squeaks over with 3, but back-to-back four assist games, Oklahoma City and Phoenix. I mean, that's definitely a place you can look for sure. I mean, like I said, he's one of the guys on the season with like some of the most probability to get this a number. So definitely look at him if you want to find somebody.
Yeah, without a doubt. And then we can jump over to three pointers made.
Yeah, and 3-pointers made. Just pretty much on one guy here. I like Bradley Beal. He's at 1.5. We went through a really rough time with Bradley Beal, me and Reoz. I think we like had a reunion a couple weeks ago with him. He started shooting a little bit more threes. They've already met 3 times this season, Washington and Toronto. He had 2 good games. He had one down game. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well from deep any of those games, but he did hit 2 3-pointers in one of the games. So I think he's ready to start shooting more threes. He's been taking around 6 to 7 per game. I like that number for him. I definitely think he can go out there and shoot around that same number and hit at least 2 of them tonight.
Yeah, he burned us for majority of the beginning of the season, but Bradley Beal's finally looking like himself, so no problem going to Bradley Beal at 1.5. And then if you kind of want to take a flyer, especially in the same game, Scotty Barnes at a half, no problem going with him. The volume of shots is definitely not there. He only takes about 3 or 4 at the most, but definitely one that he could just spot up and make one. He's made 2 straight so far, so definitely one you could just kind of throw into a 5 pick power if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was looking at Barnes. We were definitely capitalizing on these guys that were at point 0.5 early on in the season. We were loving. I remember like Jovel for a while. Even like Miles Turner to like really start the season. Like we're talking like October, he was at like half. And we were capitalizing on all that early on. So I think Barnes looks really good. Let's jump to PRAs here. There's one guy that I really like in PRAs. You just said his name. And I absolutely love Barnes here in PRA. Let's find his name here. I might just have to type it in. So yeah, Barnes, he looks really good to me tonight. He's at 20.5 PRA. Definitely, we've seen like big games out of him scoring wise so far this season. I mean, he's usually getting around 11 to 12, but he definitely can rebound the ball. We've seen games where he's out rebounded Siakam by a significant amount. Great defender, but I know that's not going to help in this category. But definitely has more opportunity to like get a couple steals that lead to some lead some better offense. The way he can get some more points. So I don't mind Barnes here at 20.5. I really like this pick. Hopefully he can have a big scoring night to help get us there a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Scotty Barnes really just kind of struggle scoring the ball as of late. His line's been sitting right around 11, 11 and a half. It jumped up to 12 tonight, but he does a lot for this team. He racks up a decent amount of assists to kind of help with this line as well. And at 20 and a half, he really doesn't need to do much. And we know the volume of shots and the volume of minutes. I mean, plays upwards to 40 minutes at some points. So definitely a really nice line for him. And then for me, I mean, this category is kind of tough. It just you kind of want to lead more towards shooters and people that are just really active. I mean, DeJounte Murray sitting at 35.5 is definitely somebody that is very viable coming off a triple double last night. So at 35, we know the upside. I mean, he could score upwards of 20 points and get you 7 and 7. So DeJounte Murray, especially against this Brooklyn team that is going to be struggling with no Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I think he looks good. His assists look pretty good tonight. I know I was talking about Podol in that game for the Spurs, but I think his assists do look pretty good tonight against Brooklyn. But they might need him. They might need him to pick up on the scoring a little bit. The last guy I wanted to talk about was DeAndre Hunter in PRA. I love him here tonight at 19.5. Been scoring the ball, just literally been getting over this PRA just by scoring. Definitely can see this line creeping up. He's been having like 20, 23-point games against some solid matchups. He already played Miami early on a back-to-back this season. Played pretty well in those games. Not great, but the game against the Warriors was a good game. The game against Milwaukee was a decent game. So I definitely think he has a chance to get us over here tonight, even just scoring the ball. So love Hunter PRA.
Yeah, it's definitely been nice since no Cam Reddish. His minutes have um, definitely increased a lot. And then over on Fantasy Score, really the only guy that I'm really liking is Malik Monk at 22.5. I know I was on him when he had 24.9. Definitely struggled against the Pacers. We haven't really seen his minutes really go up, but with Westbrook not playing that many minutes, I think Malik Monk's really going to pick up on that. And we've seen the scoring output from him so far this year. So at 22.5, he could get you there in just actual points.
Yeah, exactly. It's always nice to find guys like this. who are like sub 30 fantasy score can go out there and really give you good production just in the scoring category to get you over here. Obviously, in fantasy score, you get the extra steals and blocks. You do lose some points for some turnovers. But as Malik Monk is just a guy that's going to go out there and shoot shots. I think he looks really good at 22.5. But I think that'll wrap things up. I think this is a really nice slate. Like I said, we're waiting for some of these later games to come up, but that's all right. I think we got really good lines here to offer. Plugged in some guys. I can't wait to get to this slate. Like Reoz says, we talked about the Patreon stuff. Decent night last night, but the night before we were posting mad stuff on YouTube. Like huge night. Ready to get to a night like that again. That was amazing. Everyone who's in the private Discord too as well was hitting. So I love all that. Love the support you guys have given us lately. Like I said, NFL video tonight we're going to be posting for not wild card weekend, but the next round that we're doing here, and then the UFC video tonight as well. So tune into those. Even if you guys aren't like some big NFL fans or UFC guys, maybe you guys can learn a little bit about the game, and maybe you guys would be an opportunity for you guys to win some cash for sure. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.